Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast.
It's beginning to look a lot like quarantine. We're probably we're still locked down, well, speaking of beginning to look a lot like Christmas, I have to tell you, there has never been a topic that has set our listeners ablaze like our discussion of the Hanukkah bush Christmas tree. Lot of mail, lot of feedback from the listeners. Lot of feedback. I mean, a lot of feedback.
Okay, can I read the first one?
Well, before we get into it, I was reading some. Well, maybe it'll come up during this. Maybe some of my objections that I got to some of the feedback. I read a lot of things. There was some good advice and a lot of just not good advice. So okay, we'll read some and hopefully my pet peeves will come up.
Okay, well maybe they will in this first sentence. Hey guys, Moshe, you're a real dick about the Hanukkah bush. Just because Natasha went Jew for you doesn't mean you should be shamed out of joyful traditions.
Hold on, you're not reading this right. You got to give the intonation of the colorful colloquialisms of this person. It's an apostrophe bout. Use a real dick bout the Hanukkah bush.
I missed that.
How dare you not give over the tenor and the tone of who this person is? If they say it with good syntax.
I heard it as better syntax because I wanted it to be real.
Right, you might sympathize with the person, but when it's somebody that's like attempting to be like wacky, use a real dick bout the Hanukkah bush. Okay, next sentence, Tosh.
Just because Tosh went Jew for you doesn't mean she should be shamed out of joyful traditions. Oh, you want me to keep going?
Yeah, I mean, this person's got a lot to say.
Even if you well, I don't know if I trust them now because of the use a real...
The bout, I know.
So
that's
now
why
I don't know if I want to read all this.
That's why I had you read it. Even if you proclaimed your hatred of Christmas trees from the get-go. Okay, we can stop right there. Okay, I never said I hated Christmas trees. When did I fucking say I hated Christmas trees? Christmas trees are delightful. Who doesn't like a pine tree ripped from the earth, covered with dough and fragile glass bulbs, with lights shimmering from it and tinsel? I mean, obviously they're nice.
Okay, you know what? I just read it when you were on your rant, and I do like it, so you can read it.
But hold on a sec. I don't dislike Christmas trees, and I don't dislike Christmas. I like Christmas. Who doesn't fucking like Christmas? It's so nice. It's superior to Hanukkah. That is the problem.
I don't want to celebrate Christmas.
No one is suggesting you should or shouldn't. What I'm saying is I don't want a Christmas tree in my house.
Do you want a lemon tree with decorations on it?
I really want a lemon tree with decorations on it. That's what I've been trying to say this whole time. I really do. Okay, let's keep reading.
Okay.
Even if you proclaimed your hatred of Christmas trees from the get-go, based on your own experience of having a shittier winter holiday than those that own them, she probably just went along not thinking of the joy she felt viewing the twinkling lights and crafted ornaments and how she might want to share that with her child someday. Is this the plot to a Tim Allen movie? Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
You can't take the Christ out of Christmas, but you can take the tree. The Christians adopted the pagan winter holiday as their own. Take it back. Celebrate winter solstice on the 21st. Celebrate nature and science. Have a solstice tree. It's about joy and festivity and beauty in the darkest days. Fuck Santa and Jesus. Okay, we'll stop there. Okay. How am I the dick here? Fuck Santa and Jesus? I don't.
He's right, or
I don't.
She's right.
What? Why? Jesus seems nice. Santa is a cartoon figment of an imagination propagated by Hallmark. But
okay, hold on.
Wait, hold on. This is one of these points I've been trying to make. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna. I think I was just gonna finish it. Go ahead.
Well, okay. The other thing, people keep telling me this as if I don't have the same like Jeopardy knowledge that you do about Christmas and the Christmas tree. Yeah, I know it was a pagan thing or whatever, that it came from a different tradition and that the original Christian, people were telling me this so much in the mention. They're like, it wasn't really originally a Christmas tree. Didn't look. Yeah, I know that.
Right.
You know what that's a story about? It's a story about a religion that was around, and then Christmas came, swallowed the religion whole and took it over. This is an argument against having a Christmas tree.
But what this person's saying I think is cool,
yes,
is that they're saying take it back.
Take what back? It's not mine to take. I'm neither a pagan. I'm sounding more Jewish by the second. I'm neither a pagan nor a Christian.
Okay, I'm going to finish.
But the argument that it was a pagan holiday and therefore you should do it anyway it's absurd. No,
because there's a reason why it's pagan. It's like maybe there's something in our chemistry that we want to like at the end of the year have a big celebration. So
I have one. It's called Hanukkah. It's based on potatoes.
Said Hanukkah sucks.
Well, I didn't say Hanukkah sucks.
It's not supposed to be a big celebration.
That is true.
It's not a.
Did I say that on the last podcast?
Yeah.
We discussed that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me just finish reading this. So he says, fuck Santa and Jesus. It's not about them. It's about respect for your loved one's experience. Moshe, bless your heart. Don't be such a dick.
Hold on a second. I shouldn't be a dick. I should respect my loved one's experience, but a sentence earlier you said fuck Santa Claus and Jesus Christ. I'm the dick. I would never say such a thing about someone else's Lord.
So he says, don't be such a dick. Natasha, hang in there, or don't. You can afford not to.
A little slam on how rich they think you are.
Love always, Gaia Goy. That's a fake name.
That's a fake name.
Okay, can I say one thing though? I really like this idea of like taking, I know you say taking it back, but like maybe there's something that like at the end of the year you do want to have this, like especially with a kid, like maybe there is a way to have like a solstice part, like a some sort of ritual.
Sure.
With like your own thing.
Sure. Why don't we do it in February?
What would that be?
I don't know. Let's do it in February.
February, we're busy. The holidays, we have all this time off.
What do you mean busy? We're in a quarantine.
Well, I mean, like usually.
That's what I'm saying.
The quarantine will be over in a few years.
All right, look, if I'm being really honest and sincere, and I don't know if I mentioned this last week, I have no problem with Christmas. I think Christmas is really beautiful. I think it's a really nice time. I like Christmas spirit. I don't love Christmas music. I think last Christmas, Natasha, what you and I were doing was we were at the Laugh Factory serving the people who unhoused people Christmas dinner, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not a fucking Scrooge. I'm a Jew. And I don't want to celebrate a Christian holiday, even the rituals of that Christian holiday that are not based in the liturgical or religious parts of that holiday. For me, and I think maybe people don't really understand this who have not grown up in a religious minority in this country, what it's actually like to have the experience of someone else's religious tradition and all of the trappings that go with it, religious and non, being the default normal, and that your experience of the holiday being always something that's like, come on, that's fine, but also do this as well. Like, I like Christmas, but it's not for me. It just isn't for me. It's a beautiful thing, and I like that. I think it's fine that other people have desecularized it to such a degree that they don't feel any discomfort with celebrating another religion's traditions, even though, I mean, the thing is, people keep telling me about the paganism and the Christianity, blah, blah. I've got a degree in Western religion, and I mean, that's what I got my bachelor's in Christianity and comparative Christianity and Judaism and Islam. So that's what I studied. I'm not unaware of this stuff. I've thought a lot about this stuff. And it's not like it's some huge anxiety for me, but it is something that's like, in some ways, important to me for the thing that I do around the winter holiday to be the thing that is the tradition of my forefathers. Now, I married somebody that converted. I respect that you want to you miss that. And I think I said at the end of the last podcast, but I'll say it again. If it's important to you, I think you should do it. But I can't be enthusiastic about it.
Okay, I think what I'm trying to say and what Gaya Goy was also saying is, what if it's like a little more enterprising? What if we celebrate Hanukkah and then on the 21st we come up with our own family tradition that's could have an aesthetic thing to it? You could like I said, decorate a pear tree or something.
What aesthetic? The aesthetic keeps
like a celebration and lights you can look at night.
The aesthetic keeps defaulting back to Christmas.
But Christmas is on the 25th. You would celebrate this on the 21st on the winter solstice.
I will do whatever you want.
Maybe you like take LSD or something.
Now I'm interested.
I'm just saying we can make our own traditions. We shouldn't be bound to like traditions that all these dumb people in power.
Then why do we make up a tradition that isn't connected to the major Christian holiday around that time? Why don't we do something that has literally no connection?
Because we'll remember it better if we know it's like the solstice. Next year, if we're like, okay, on the 8th, we're going to like go to a park, and then as soon as it gets dark, we're going to like light a fire and then sing some songs.
Here's the other thing. I was singing, okay, I made this point to you the other night when we were talking about it privately. I was singing Remember Christ Our Savior was born on Christmas Day in my public school as a little Jewish kid. Like, I know more Christmas carols than Hanukkah songs by a factor of probably 1,000.
Well, that's exactly why you hate them, though. You were made to sing them.
I don't love Christmas carols. Well,
nobody does.
It's not that I don't love Christmas carols. I just don't love the gavage of them that we all experience around the holidays. I'm just saying, like, for me, my holiday is enough. I feel no dearth of experience. I feel no want for more magical tinsel. I mean, I had a dude, honestly, there was a person that wrote in that was like, how could you deprive your child of the joy of Santa Claus? And I was like, he's like, childhood is fleeting, and you took away their ability to have joy. And I was like, the world is filled with mostly children that don't believe in Santa Claus and never get Santa Claus.
That's stupid.
It is stupid.
Okay, but can I say something? What if you know how like Moshe and I usually have a Hanukkah party and we invite all of our friends and it's once a year, you know, and then remember last year we came up with a playlist with all Jewish artists and I have it saved. And then there's so many Jewish artists in there that we just kind of, as soon as Hanukkah comes, we just start playing it. And then you kind of don't even hear the same song for like 8 days. So it's like adding to your traditions to enrich them. That's all I'm saying. So if it included like with my child, decorations, I think that like preparing the house for it would be like a really fun thing. So I'm saying like adding to the tradition to make your own tradition, I think would be really beneficial. And
I guess
I don't want
saying,
a fucking Christmas tree. Exactly.
You can have, you can do,
maybe put some kind of tree that is like not a Christmas tree.
I'm not telling you, I'm telling you you can do whatever feels meaningful for you. What I'm telling you for me, and what I think a lot of people that wrote in don't understand, and even some Jews that wrote in that are like, we do it, who cares?
That is the main response, which is weird.
What I think people aren't understanding is that there is a historical, I don't want to get too sincere because it's a comedy podcast, but there is a historical pattern and story of people, Jews, living in Christian communities, being told to put their traditions either down altogether or to add to their traditions Christian elements of celebration. For 2,000 years that's been going on, and sometimes it was really nasty. Actually, I'm not saying this is nasty. Obviously, I can even hear people's eyes rolling right now. It's like, it's just a fucking Christmas tree. But what I'm saying is, for me, the significance of, well, I just do this holiday the way of my tradition is it something I've thought a lot about. This isn't a decision I've come to rashly or because I resent Christmas. It's a decision that I've come to because not out of resentment for Christianity, but out of desire to have what I do be enough, because it's just historically true that for 2,000 years, Christian communities have come in and said, why don't you just be more like us? Just do more like us, be more like us. If you can't, if you can't worship Jesus, then just at least don't be so weird and eat the pork
But what you do is enough. But now it's like, what were you doing? What were you doing before now you have a family. Now you have a kid. But so add to your tradition.
But what is the implication? Now you have a family, so now actually give them a good experience like Christmas.
Okay, my connection. I love being Jewish. I'm so glad that I'm
you do,
Jewish.
And I don't doubt that. I don't need you to feel any way. I'm just telling you how I feel.
And I'll tell you how I feel. My connection to Christmas goes back from my childhood because I was a child actor and I was in A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens every year, but it was also a 60-day run each year. So it's I know the whole play. I kept playing different characters. It's definitely a part of my fabric of my childhood. First I started off as street girl with no lines and I would just grunt, but then I was then I got to be Belinda Cratchit.
Or you worked your way all the way up to the star? Yeah, I worked my way
all the way up to be the ghost of Christmas Past.
Oh, you were the ghost of Christmas Past.
And check it out. I was a sophomore in high school and it was kind of like a semi-professional theater. It was not professional, but I was with some people who were getting paid from Actors Equity. So there would be sometimes a star from Chicago or someone who's down on their luck star kind of thing. So this guy came who was older playing Scrooge and he told the director he wouldn't act with me.
Why?
Because I was just doing an impression of the actress the year before, Sandra Massey. She would be I am the ghost of Christmas Past.
And you did
that?
I
just did an impression. And the actor from Chicago, I saw him take the director aside and he was what is this shit? She's I was 12. I didn't know what I was doing.
So rude.
I know.
Wait, who was he?
He didn't even talk to me.
Was he Scrooge?
He was Scrooge and he
hilarious. That guy was full on method actor. What a piece of shit.
He was back in Rockford. He was a professional Chicago actor who was back in Rockford because his parents were dying or something. I don't know. So anyway, the point is it was definitely just the idea of British people celebrating Christmas. It never felt Christian to me. It just always felt festive.
Mm-hmm.
And I love parties. And I love I just love the festivity, the event of that.
I like Christmas. And here's what I'll propose. No Christmas tree, but we do a staged reading of A Christmas Carol every year. And you get to be Scrooge or whoever it is that you want.
Oh, maybe I should be. Oh, my God.
What?
Why don't I remake that and I'll be Scrooge?
That would be awesome.
I know the whole play.
You should 100% do that. You should do it this year.
All right. That's
on Zoom.
Oh, that's great. I can be Scrooge.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? How's that?
It seems like you're doing an impression of that guy that didn't want to act with you.
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Okay, should we read a couple more of these letters or should we move on?
I just loved when Tiny Tim got his turkey.
God bless us, everyone, huh? Except the Jews. That was in the original text, right? God bless us, everyone, except the Jews, because they don't have Christmas trees.
Oh, my God. Okay, let's read someone who agrees with you.
Hi, I don't think I've ever yelled at a podcast as much as your discussion of a Hanukkah bush. Admittedly, I am a Jew who hates Christmas with almost all of my being, but this isn't this what Natasha signed up for when she converted? Let us Jews eat latkes and be sad that all we get to do is light candles. Christmas isn't for everyone. It's for non-Jews. Like Moshe said, we already had to pretend like Hanukkah's a major holiday when it barely matters, just to make kids feel better. Even a lavender bush rubs salt in the wound. Just fuck right off with that straw man shit. Straw man? How did you? It's like a logical fallacy that he's bringing up. The straw man.
Wait, I don't get the straw man reference.
The straw man. The straw man is a logical fallacy that people there's a list of logical fallacies.
Oh, and they're saying it doesn't make sense to get a lavender bush.
A straw man is I think it's where you construct an argument that isn't actually applicable, that it doesn't actually make sense. So it's like you're telling me I should get a Christmas tree, and I say to you well, why don't you tell a bunch of Muslims that they're no longer allowed to worship in there at all? And you go, that's a fake argument. You've just constructed that out of.
Okay.
I am going to be Googling it after this to make sure that that's kind of correct. And if it's not, we're going to be editing that out of the podcast.
All right. So this person agrees with you. Okay.
Well, he doesn't agree with me. He seems angry too. But both of these letters have been really angry.
I'm just saying we can learn from the spirit of Christmas and infuse Hanukkah with a little bit more. But since that's so much pressure, hold on.
This is what I'm talking about.
Since that's so much pressure to put on Hanukkah, why not just have a solstice thing that isn't religious? It's a non-religious celebration.
But
at the end of the year, don't you feel like that you need that?
But I already get the idea that the Christmas tree isn't innately religious, but I think that people that make that argument, not you, the people in the comments and the emails we've gotten that make that argument are being a bit naive about what religion actually is. Religion isn't just liturgical belief systems and what's in the canon. Religion is also all of the rituals, all of the trappings that go. And it doesn't matter that a religion absorbed other tradition. Every religion has absorbed other traditions and made it into a part of their own tradition. But the idea that its roots are not in Christianity, ergo you can have a Christmas tree and it's not really connected to Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, I don't want to do fucking Easter eggs too, even though I know they're delightful. Passover is enough. Because even though the Easter bunny and colorful eggs don't have anything to do with Jesus' resurrection, they 100% have everything to do with it because they're there as a totem of signification towards the ritual that the religion that the holiday is about.
No, Easter reminds me of Jesus's face.
Really?
It definitely feels like a very Jesus-heavy holiday.
It's so Christmas.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
That's a nice email. I gave you that because it's nicer.
Okay. Hello. I'm listening to your podcast and I'm realizing how non-traditional my holidays were. My parents were both raised Christian but considered themselves atheist agnostic. They sound cool. We had a close relationship with our extended family who are Christian, so they played the little Santa game. When I was 5, I asked about Santa because I, too, was not a dumbass and thought it was incredible how he got around the world. My mom didn't waste any time and told us Santa wasn't real. See, that's so smart. Honestly, we didn't really care because we were still getting presents. Obviously, we started asking about Christmas and Santa, and that's when my parents kind of explained Christianity to us and why they don't believe in it. How old are they? That's so cool. They told us that we are free to believe whatever we want, and if there's ever a church or a seminar, etc., we want to go to, they'd be happy to take us. They explained the importance of respecting other people's religions, and I think it was a really good approach. I have a lot of respect and appreciation for other religions, and enjoying holidays/traditions with friends and family. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I actually feel like I'm enjoying all of them. I hope this adds some insight from the perspective of the child. I want to enjoy all of them too.
Me too. I like going to Christmas parties. Every year,
good.
when we weren't in quarantine, there would be these Christmas parties that we'd get invited to. People would invite us. They'd be wearing their little Santa hats. I mean, aesthetically, I have some problems with the Santa hat thing, but I like Christmas. I think it's beautiful. I like A Christmas Carol. I like It's a Wonderful Life. I like all that stuff. I
have an idea.
Tell me.
How about we can only have some kind of tree when there's a pandemic? Because there's no parties to go to. So there's nothing to do. Mm-hmm. So I have to watch my kid all day tomorrow. I could decorate the whole house as a solstice party. That would take up the whole day. It would be so fun.
Honey, I will support you in doing anything that makes your holiday
I'm going to come up with my own tradition.
Meaningful.
Thank you.
I just cannot, you will never get me to be stoked. I cannot be stoked.
If I put little bird's nests all over the living room,
you're going to... stoked. Those have nothing to do with any tradition. Bird's nests, stoked. Tinsel, less stoked. Stockings, ornaments. Somebody did recommend putting ornaments on the boughs of holly. We've already done boughs of holly.
So
we've decked our halls.
Open to ornaments on the boughs.
I am open to you doing whatever it is that you want. I want you to be happy and have a meaningful winter time.
But know that I'm very committed to being Jewish. I think it's a great religion, and I really am enjoying it. I'm having a great ride, and I don't feel Christian. I don't even miss being Christian because I never felt Christian. I always felt like I was my own thing. I never felt an attraction to it. It always felt off, wrong. like I'm looking at the clock. When's this going to end? When I was in Catholic school, like I was never, like that kid said that they became the best Jehovah's Witness on the other podcast.
Right. Like deeply religious.
Yeah.
No one's talking about that. Right. I mean, obviously we're not. That's not us. I mean, my dad was deeply religious. And I somehow got through my experience with my dad.
Your brother's deeply religious.
My brother is a rabbi.
And you're you have strong
I have
rules for yourself.
My connection with religion, I wonder if we're going on too long, but my connection with religion, with my religion specifically, is not as much belief-based as it is identity and history-based. That's my thing.
Your spirituality is just based in history?
No, my spirituality is different. My connection to Judaism does have elements of spirituality to it, but in terms of like belief system, like, am I a big time believer in the fact that the Bible was given to Moses on Mount Sinai? That's not a big part of my belief system. No, I don't. I have no connection to that. But am I a big believer? Should we talk about my spirituality? My spirituality,
no,
basically...
we can take a call. We've got someone waiting for us in Florida. Unless there's something you'd love to say.
No, well, I mean, I already started. I might as well just say it. Here's what I think. I studied comparative religion in college, and I was very close, like a hair away from becoming a religious studies professor instead of a comedian. And you know this about me.
Well, I never knew it was a hair's away. I'm like, wait, is that you're like a professor?
No, I wanted to be one. And I realized I probably wouldn't have been very good at research, and that what I really want to do is get in front of people and give lectures, which is what happened with stand-up comedy. But there was a divergence in my path, and at one point where I was either going to go to graduate school or I was going to commit myself to comedy, and I didn't go to graduate school, and here I am. Thank God. I wouldn't be with you. I wouldn't have our kid. I wouldn't have this great life and fun career. But what I think it comes down to is every religion, is this just bullshit? Who knows? Every religion is basically, if you take out the disgusting parts, are basically all saying the same thing. They're all this quest towards the same kind of goal, self-actualization, connection with something bigger than you, blah, blah, blah. Buddhism might be the one exception. It's got its own bizarre and kind of cool thing that it's doing that's a little outside of but all the rest of the religions are kind of saying the same thing. So for me, this is not for other people. For me, the realization was, because all the religions are kind of getting at the same thing, I just am going to get there through my tradition. That's how I'm going to access that thing. I'm going to do it through the path that I was born into.
That's so interesting, because like I look at it the same way. Like someone told me once, religions are just windows onto the same thing. But I always think of it like I want to learn about everything.
You want to look through each window.
Yeah, kind of.
I like that too. I don't think there's anything wrong with that approach of like going everywhere and experiencing it all.
And then creating your own thing, because why? But I guess what you mean is you sometimes need structure or something.
I just think like tradition-wise, in terms of the topography and the choreography of my life, like my holidays, my calendar, my identity, like my main signalers of who I am in terms of my connection to spirituality, I mostly do that through my religion. But I've done it at various times through like hippie stuff, through AA. I've done it through other directions. But when it comes to like, let me leap into this other religious faith, I've done meditation. I've done Buddhist meditations and Hindu stuff and stuff. But when it comes to like, let me jump into another faith tradition, even if that tradition isn't overtly religious, it's not... I don't feel comfortable.
See, my mom met some guy at a bar when she was 22. She was Lutheran. She married him, my dad. Then she changed to Catholic 1 year later. And then I'm born. I'm supposed to just like go with that. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt like, oh, maybe I should
find your own way.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing too. I think finding your own way is great. I really do. That's not even me going like, but I found the right way. And that's the problem with every religion.
Well, just the idea that you should do whatever you were born into, that doesn't seem that doesn't resonate with me.
I'm not big on shoulds. I'm saying for me, because they're all...
You liked it. That's good. That's probably like good karma.
For me, it was like, because they're all filled with the same paths and the same truths, why would I look elsewhere for what's ever present in every faith, and especially in a religion, and because I'm so into history and the story of my people, especially in a religion that came so close to not existing anymore so many times because we were almost wiped out again and again and again. So I'm like, well, why wouldn't I just stay within the stream of this thing, keep it alive, and get what is available to me in every religion? There's joy in every religion. There's pain in every religion. There's lies in every religion. And there's wisdom in every religion.
My mom met my dad at a restaurant. Sorry, not at a bar.
Did it have a bar in it?
Yeah.
It was a bar restaurant. It was a bar and grill.
I'm just saying, I don't think she was like a devout Catholic.
Yeah.
You know
but you did go to Catholic school.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go.
People are waiting for us.
I feel bad.
Them.
All right. I want to read more of these emails. I feel bad because we got so much wisdom. But yeah, let's take a call. Maybe we'll come back to this. Let's call Sam and Andrew in Jacksonville, Florida.
Hi.
How's it going?
What's so funny?
We're a little delirious.
I'm sorry. We got
into a religious fight.
Yeah, we started talking about Christmas again. We went down a dark path. Oh, sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. I know you're in Florida and it's late. We tape this podcast after 8:30 because that's when our kid goes to bed. So I know on the East Coast that's really late.
At any rate, let's get straight to it because we don't want to waste any more of your time. I know you guys are... Wait, but you guys are in Jacksonville?
Yes.
Aren't you guys addicted to methamphetamine anyway? You should be up.
It's the one night a week where we stay sober.
Oh, okay. You guys are crashing.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Sorry about that.
So tell us about yourselves. What's happening?
Yeah, how can we help?
Okay, so we've had a problem. You guys can hear us?
Yes, okay. We hear you just fine.
Okay. So we've had a problem for a little bit. We moved into this apartment complex and it was super great. It was pretty empty. People were still moving into it. And it was great. And then we had a neighbor move in. We now share a bedroom wall with their bedroom wall. Which, okay, like we've never, so they are active sexually, which is great for them. We're really excited for them. I think people should be. And the first time that we overheard this, we were like, ooh.
Sure.
Like, it's kind of like mildly exciting. Like I'd never heard that happen in real life before. And then,
but now you're watching like Great British Bake Off while they're
oh my God. Natasha, they have sex like 4 to 5 times a night.
Wow.
Like to the point where I think it could be an occupation.
I think it's like a cam girl thing going on here.
Well, that must make you at least feel a little more secure, like so they're not just like that horny for each other during the pandemic.
That is very funny.
You know, because like you're having like bed death and they're just like, like just fucking against your wall.
Like, do we not feel attracted to each other at all anymore? Is this normal? Is that what's normal?
It really doesn't help you gauge an average, really.
So have you heard it today? Tonight?
No, but as soon as we go lay down after this, I'm sure we'll get a show.
So, okay. So what is the question? What should you do?
How do we, how do we ask them to stop ruining our sleep?
Well, here's the thing. We don't want to tell strangers that they should stop having sex because we don't think that. But we've bought a white noise machine. We bought a headboard to separate us from the wall. We're decorating in the area to try to dampen the noise. And at this point, I feel that there has to be, we can't sleep.
Something's got to give.
Well, first of all, I think you need to find out, is it a professional situation? Because if it's their job, it's a different thing than if it's just like two lovers, you know, the same person.
I totally agree. I don't know how to figure that out respectfully.
Oh, I see. Because, yeah.
Right. Okay, wait, I have a question. Do you is this a condo or are you renters?
No, we rent. It's an apartment.
Now you said it was mostly empty. Is it now totally full?
Pretty much, yeah.
What do you mean by pretty much?
Like like
I mean, we don't run the leasing office, but we're pretty sure.
From our understanding is it's like near max occupancy.
You need to go to, this is my strongest advice. This will never change. They're too horny.
Yeah.
They will not stop fucking. You don't know how hot they are. I'm a subscriber. It's really there's something.
Actually, we've seen them.
Oh, and
it didn't help. They're not as hot as you might like to imagine.
Well, they're hot to each other. Okay.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
so it's a couple.
Maybe
I've only seen one of them. He said them, but we mean one.
Yeah,
okay.
sorry. We only seen one.
The most prominent thing is the man. He actually makes the most noise, and it's really deep and boisterous and repetitive. And it's like, I've never heard a man make a noise every time.
Can you do it for us?
Andrew? It's more of an.
He kind of like, he swings in with like a guttural, just like.
Oh, okay.
And whoever's over there with him, because there is another person, is to my knowledge, women don't feel that way.
Wait, the noise? You're deciding that the noise isn't appropriate for a woman to be experiencing? Like you've interpreted what the noise means?
I've never heard it. It sounds.
Let's hear that one.
It just sounds so overboard, but I'm really happy for her if it's not.
All right.
Is it a terrible idea to like put your bedroom in the room you're sitting in and then put all your other stuff in the living room, like switch the rooms?
But then when they're trying to chill out in their living room, they're going to hear this like guttural. Oh, by the way.
No, because it's only happening at night. So the daytime they could have silence. And then you could be out here. Yeah. I don't know what your house situation is like, but if you get really desperate, it's like, else are you going to do?
Why would you not just go to the leasing office, say we want to be put on the list to move to a new apartment, tell them the reason, and say we just want we want a new apartment, and then move your stuff. I mean, but
it's a little rude to go straight to the leasing office before you even nicely say something to the people.
They'll never change.
Yeah, you're probably
right.
They
will never change.
Anyone who's doing that is like,
they're too horny.
Yeah,
that's the challenge. Is like we've considered like maybe we could go to the leasing office, but then we're the only ones sharing a wall with them. So like they'd be like, oh, these people on the other side of the wall are getting mad at our guttural roars of passion.
Did they seem dangerous?
No.
They seem really.
We're not in that part of Florida.
Wait, does it seem like he might come to death? That seems like a danger.
Are you asking me if this could be putting his life in danger?
Yeah, doesn't sound healthy. I'll tell you that right now.
What's she like? What's the girl like?
They don't know. They've never seen her.
I'm not sure, but loud and high pitched. And that's all we really know about her. So you don't think that there's any like. There's not like a nice way to.
I mean, here's the only excuse that works in my like history of this kind of thing is saying that your baby needs to sleep.
What?
And like if you could tell them, but they can't tell them that.
You should instead of a white noise machine, get a baby noise machine.
But if you were like, no, but I'm just saying like whenever you tell people that your baby is sleeping and they're waking up your baby, they kind of like connect with you a little bit more.
I mean, obviously, sure, it would be nice for you to say something that is vague enough that you don't say we know you're being pegged every night, but specific enough that they know what you're getting at, and give them a shot. But sure, you should do that. That's what big grown-ups do. And then maybe looking into sound dampening stuff. But I just think you guys have to move. I think you have to find a new place to live.
But there's a pandemic. It could be lasting another year. I mean, this is not an easy time to get a place.
I'm not saying immediately. That's what I'm saying. Go to the leasing office and say the next apartment that opens up, we want to move.
Is that a possibility?
I mean, it's not my favorite option that we've got on the table.
What do you got on the table? I mean, he's on the table right now, spread eagle, getting pegged by this lady.
I think that before we would move to an entirely different apartment, we would maybe move into the smaller room that is an office.
That's what I'm saying. Move the furniture around a little bit because that is like a loud place at night. So that could just be that bedroom that you're in can be like a daytime office. That's a perfect daytime office. Make a cozy new bedroom across the hall. maybe paint it, a small space is really good, painted like a dark color, like just kind of go with the smallness of it, make it just a sleeping pad, and then make a beautiful office in this place. They're not fucking in the day, probably.
So that's right. Okay, I love this now. Natasha's right. We actually live according to this in our real life. All of our hanging out is done in the rest of the house. Our bedroom is really mostly just a bed. It's a bed, a plug, a TV. There's a whole idea about that your sleeping space should literally be just for sleeping, and all of your living occurs in your living room and in your office. So I think that's brilliant, Natasha. Just put a bed, make it really austere. It's only for sleeping.
It doesn't have to be austere. Make it however you want.
But if you had your old bedroom become like a enhanced office, then you could play music. The problem is you're trying to sleep and there's a white noise machine. But if you had music on in there until you went to bed, I think you'd be fine, right? Make it your gaming room.
Yeah, we have really bad construction kind of surrounding us at all times. And I have got Sonos speakers like right by the windows, and I have playlists. And I just find that in the daytime when I'm working, playing music can just be like, and you don't have to make it too loud, and then at nighttime, that's when you need to sleep. So make sure that it's a place that...
Have you ever seen I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm just rambling, but I just feel you because I hate not being able to sleep. And I also hate not being able to work when it's like loud outside in the day. It fucking sucks.
Well, here's an idea. Have you ever seen the movie Porky's?
I have not.
No.
It's an old school movie.
These are fresh young people, Moshe.
They are you're fresh and young, but you look like you might have gone into the coffers of vaguely pornographic comedies of the early 80s. And what they did in Porky's is they drilled a hole in the girls' locker room so that they could see their boobies while they changed. So one possibility, and I think this is legal, would be to drill a hole in your bedroom wall, set up a webcam, and then you stream it, and then you start making profit off of your discomfort, saving up enough money to buy your own place someday.
I like it.
You like it?
I think that could work. I think any illegalities in it, we could just pay a lawyer at that point.
Or it's Florida. It's probably not illegal, honestly.
But honestly, after Moshe said his point, I definitely think he's right that why confront those people? Why put yourselves in a weird position? They're not going to change. So you can either make it work, but at the same time, you still could, as a backup, do the thing where you tell the listing agent, like, let us know. But if you're not, maybe try this other thing. And if you need any design advice, let us know. Let me know. I'll help you.
I mean, there is a classic technique of what you're supposed to do when you don't want to talk to your neighbors about the noise, but you do want them to be quiet. And it's you get a broom and bang on the wall. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do.
I've definitely done that in my life.
That's the.
I did it to Moshe today.
That's the international sign for I don't want to talk to you directly, and you can. When we see each other in the hallway, you won't. No one will discuss this. I'm gonna bang, and then you'll know that I know that you're fucking.
That's a good point. You could do that. That's probably what we would do. I was just sleeping at a hotel recently, and the person next to me, I was like, the walls must have been so thin, and I was like, what is that whoopee cushion sound? Like, I kept thinking a whoopee cushion was happening, and after an hour, I was like, oh, he's snoring, and it was so disgusting to me, and he wouldn't stop snoring. I mean, I'm assuming it was a man, and it was just like, it was just so long, and it was so rhythmic, and it was like driving me insane. I was like putting on music, and this is like 2 a.m. And so then finally I just like, bam, like I couldn't help it. And like, why? Why did I do that?
Did he stop?
No.
Oh.
He's sleeping. Oh. But like also like banging on a wall of like a hotel, that just seems like that's not who I am, I hope.
Wait, really? That's definitely who I am. I mean,
you just bang on the wall. If they're fucking, that's almost different. If some guy's snoring, he's not even in control of it. What's he going to do? Wake up, get mad, go back to sleep and snore.
I mean, look, we should let you go, but there are other options.
Okay.
You could say something like if you were British, you guys are from Florida, so this is going to be a stretch, but if you were British, you would say something else, like what they would do on The Crown. They would go, I hope that you're enjoying the apartment next door. It certainly sounds as though you are. And then you'd walk away. And then they would know, oh, okay, they know they can hear it, and then they would adjust their behavior.
See, that's why I want to move to England.
I know.
They're so much more civilized.
They're always polite when they're being rude.
I love the Crown. I love that idea.
Yeah. In America,
should I write them a note? I should write them a note with pleasantries.
In America, they say like, "I heard you grunt fucking. Stop." It's like a different vibe.
But you could welcome them into the building with a small gift, make them feel guilty. Oh, but then they're going to think you want to hook up with them.
How about this? This is a good idea. Welcome them to the building with a small gift, but in the gift can have some passive aggressive stuff like sound dampener cloth, a white noise machine, somehow.
I was going to ask, would it be rational for me to just offer to soundproof their bedroom?
Honestly, I don't dislike that idea. Is it possible? That's my question. Is it possible if you
put those foam thingies up?
If you both put foam on either side of your walls, would it work?
No. Here's the thing. Here's a thing that I've learned in life. Most people aren't cool. And those people seem lame.
Why? They seem cooler than you two.
That's so rude. They're 4 times a day.
4 to 5 times a day.
Against their wall loud.
What are they doing? They're watching The Crown. I want to put them on the phone.
I should go knock.
They go. If you went and knocked, they go, finally, our message has been received. We've been fucking 4 to 5 times a night for months now, and they've never knocked.
I don't know. When I've shared walls and lived in apartments like that, I am always conscious of because you kind of remember which walls face, you're like, oh, that's where they are. And that, you kind of know. So it's like.
Well, it makes us self-conscious about our
it's rude
activity.
Of course. See what I'm saying? You couldn't even say the word. You said activity.
Seriously, move your bed into that other room. It's going to look awesome.
I think here are your options in order. Passive aggressive signal is you probably should do it. A non-direct signal, then move the bed, then but I actually think this idea of soundproofing, if it's possible, what if it was possible?
He's not going to let you come in and soundproof his wall.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We could do our side.
See if it works. If it dampened it significantly, then you'd have your perfect passive aggressive thing. You could be like, hey, just wanted to let you know, we recently soundproofed the wall of our bedroom and it really worked. It's a lot less quiet, although we can still hear you. If you wanted, we'd be willing to actually split the cost of it with you. And you never said anything about sex. And then, boom, passive aggressive message received.
Go on Pinterest, Google, put in tiny office bedroom. Get inspired.
I like it.
Figure it out, what it's going to look like, and just make it its own space for now. And I mean, we're spending so much time at home. You have to make your home like a place you want to be. And if you're like being tortured at night and it's not going to change, you got to like take control.
Do you guys work from home?
I do.
Yeah, I mean, a big bedroom is unnecessary, but a big office is nice. You can stretch out. You could put a little gym in there too, something. And then you guys could run at night when they fuck.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, good luck, you guys. We love you.
Yes, get some sleep now. I would say get some sleep, but you won't.
Happy solstice.
Yeah, happy solstice. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You liked my solstice talk, huh?
I love your solstice talk. Should we read a couple more of these emails?
Let's see if there's anything worth reading.
Well, this I like. I got to say that I like this.
Okay.
Hi, Moshe and Natasha. Just watched today's episode, Jews for Christmas, and I loved the call talking about how you guys will handle decorating for the holidays. I was raised Jewish and pretty much agree with everything Moshe said completely on this. I could stop right there.
You're like, I love this letter. Oh, this finally someone, a smart person wrote us a letter.
Most people write though, and they do say, I always agree with Natasha. I would say that's the primary thing I hear. And he sent us a little picture of the winter thing that they do, and it's actually really nice, and it's somewhat vaguely Christmassy.
I'm not into stockings.
I don't like stockings
I mean,
either.
whose socks are those? Why? What is that? Is that Santa's socks? Socks in general, I don't like it. Okay, so you know what? We've got another person. Let's call someone. Let's call Megan in Iowa because it's Central Time. It's getting late.
Hello. Hi. Megan.
Hey, dudes.
Is it?
Hi, what's up? What's up, friends?
Is it Megan?
Megan, yeah.
Megan,
what's up? It's not Megan, it's Megan.
Okay.
Megan, I can tell you're going to be doing bits through this whole call. I want to discourage that, But you got to be you. Do your thing, be yourself. Hey,
wait, it's so late there. You dress like you're ready to
party. Yeah, totally.
Or no, like I feel like she's about to host a Zoom or something.
Yeah, like a game show. What do you do, Megan?
For a living?
Yeah.
I am an insurance analyst at an investment firm. It's pretty boring, but
you look cool.
I look pretty hip though.
You do look hip. Cool. Yeah, you look cool.
I dressed up for you guys.
You look awesome. Megan, how can we help? What's going on? What can we do?
Okay, so I met this guy on the internet, on the Tinder,
okay.
Because it's very old school. It's a pandemic. I'm lonely. I live alone, and it's kind of fun to make fun of people on there. But this guy, like super liked me, which means it's a special button you push.
That's a function on the website, not just how you're describing your relationship.
No.
Before you even meet them, they're like, I super like you. Oh my God.
You get like one super like a week or something. And I made the profile and I immediately had a super like from this dude. And I was like, well, somebody is thirsty, obviously.
Sure.
And then we started talking and he's cool as fuck. We hang out a couple times. And then on the third date,
in person,
he's like, we hang out in person. Okay. He had a COVID test. I've already had COVID.
Gotcha.
So we're like safe about it.
Oh, bury the lead.
And then,
how was your COVID? Was it mild?
It was mild. But I still like my taste buds have changed.
Whoa.
Like,
I've heard of that.
I can't eat spicy food, and now I like pretzels, and I hated them before. That's all I've noticed.
I've heard that those are really comorbid. I've heard that a lot. It's actually really sad. A lot of people come out of COVID really liking pretzels. It's kind of fucked up.
No, but my dad had COVID and his wife, and she, for 3 weeks now, she said she can't smell coffee. They have no sense of smell. And I read that you could start thinking that you could start smelling coffee was like rotting meat.
Oh, yeah. They don't like the sound
I've heard that too. That would be the ultimate bummer, though.
Yeah, that would suck real hard.
Especially if you like coffee.
Well, the only thing worse than not being able to enjoy coffee anymore would be starting to enjoy pretzels. That sounds like a living hell. Sounds like a prison.
If I stopped liking spicy food, that would suck.
Ugh.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that it hurts so much. Like I ate a mild jalapeno and like my lips got swollen.
That is crazy. That is so bizarre.
Yeah, so
okay, so anyway, you guys got tested, you've had COVID, it's left your taste buds scarred.
we hung out, we had a great time. The second time we ever hung out, we talked for 10 hours straight. Like I've never done that with anyone. And we were sober, there were no drugs involved. Sure. It was wild.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is this? So I'm like, okay, this dude's cool. And
kind of starting to super like him.
Super like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm starting to super like him IRL. That's awesome. And I was pretty open about the fact that I'm like not religious, not necessarily an atheist, but not like really into organized religion as a whole.
You're speaking my language.
Why are you saying it in a Jewish accent?
It was actually Italian.
You're speaking my language. Oh yeah, I guess it is. Okay. So I like the way we had been chatting, I just assumed that he was like non-religious. Okay. Not a big deal, but he's like, by the way, I'm Muslim. Okay. Mm-hmm. Not a big deal. I just would like to say that I'm not a xenophobe at all. Mm-hmm. You could have said he was Christian and this call would have gone a lot better for you.
Christian is like Christian's way worse. But anyway, so
no, it's basically no, it isn't. But go ahead.
Anyway, let's just say this guy's religious. Okay. It doesn't matter what kind of religion. Okay. So
we already said which it was.
Right.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying it's a new thing for me because I've never dated anyone that was religious. In fact, it's a deal breaker for me. So had I have known, I might have not met this person. So I'm like, well, all right, getting stopped in my old age. Let's try it out. And I googled a bunch about Islam and their traditions, about dating and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, this is different than how I grew up. Not a big deal. And then so we had our fourth date last Saturday. And before the date, I was like, okay, so fourth date, do you want to sleep over? I think that's a fair question.
Sure, yes, it is.
We hadn't even like made out at that point. So I'm like, all right, tonight's my night. We're going for Italian. I'm getting fucking drunk. It's on.
Wait, do you usually go for Italian for sex? Is that the carbs?
She's gonna splurge. Yeah. She's gonna have fun.
Oh, you like marathon sessions? You see, I would go sushi, so like I'm peppy, but Italian suggests you're gonna do it for hours and hours. You're gonna burn off the carbs.
I wasn't thinking because I was so excited about like a possible penis being in me again.
Getting smushed.
It's been right. So then I asked him to spend the night like in advance so he could plan or whatever if he needed to. And he said, I wrote it down. I wrote some paraphrases. He said that he doesn't feel comfortable sleeping over because it's a side that his parents haven't seen and they would worry about him. By the way, lives at home, is 30.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I mean, so not only is he religious, but religion is very important to him or his parents.
Well, I asked and I was like, do you like observe all the holidays and all that stuff? And he's like, yeah, but we're pretty chill about it. Like his sister married an atheist. So I'm like, that makes me feel.
But what does that mean to him? Like he's still like in the shadow of his parents, you know? Right.
And then as I read on the internet, adult Muslim children often live at home until they find a husband or wife. Yo, I don't want that. Right? I've known this dude for 3 weeks. So I'm like, no. Okay. Another thing. He's never had a relationship. Mm-hmm. Never had a relationship. He's going to be 31.
V-Dog? Big V?
What's that?
Big V? Is he a big V?
What's that?
Is he a virgin? No.
Oh.
So
he's not.
He lost his virginity 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, he's just picky. That's cool. I'm like, well, he's mistaken about me if he's picky. But okay, thanks, guy. But
no, you stop that right now.
I have a question.
You beautiful COVID-infected flower, you.
I have a question.
I just want you to compliment my jacket again.
It's a great jacket.
When you guys talked for 10 hours, what did you talk about? Were you just like watching Instagram?
Well, the Shudras, the Prophet, some of the great
everything but religion. Towards the end of the night, I don't know how it came up. He's like, oh, I'm Muslim, whatever, and I'm like, okay.
Did you guys have a lot in common?
Yeah, we have so much in common.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, that's all that's important. And sometimes it takes people a while to like break free of their family and,
But it's weird to me. And also, all of his family lives within a 2-block radius of each other.
But that is kind of like, aren't you kind of inspired when you see that? You're like, wow, these people really like to be around each other.
I mean,
no, it's fucking weird.
This is straight up classic Muslim immigrant culture stuff. Living at home with the parents is less weird, I feel like, for an older Muslim guy than it would be if it was non-immigrant, non-Muslim family.
I agree.
And living close to your family,
if it was the non-Muslim guy, he would just be a fucking loser, like career line cook kind of guy.
Okay, we don't need to slam the essential workers right now, but yeah, no, like it's in our support of Islam, we don't need to bring down the line cooks. We're watching Hell's Kitchen. We're pretty sensitive about that.
Okay, difference between a line cook and a chef. Just want to throw that out there. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. One is actually struggling to make ends meet.
That's an important argument for me.
Okay, so what are you wondering? Should you stick with it?
Well, I'm wondering, like, I understand this is a tradition and that but I'm also like I'm not his girlfriend yet, but like
you're his fiance.
Like, yes, we went right to that. But like, I'm his first like girl that his parents know about.
And he's 30?
He's 30.
I mean, it's old school. It's traditional. It's immigrant shit. It's
so what's he been doing? I mean, so maybe Moshe, you know more about this. I mean, I watched Rami and it was amazing, but I don't.
You know all you need to know.
I'm just saying, like, I haven't had a lot of Muslim friends, so I'm curious. Like, what do you mean by that? That means that like what are they doing from 20 to 30 in high school in LA? Like they're not fucking or
I'm sure it was just like, I mean, listen, not every Muslim is the same. Not every immigrant is the same, but I'm sure.
But you said it's classic. So
it's like, yeah, it's classic that you stay at home with your family longer than you do traditionally in the West. He's probably.
I understand.
His older sister lives at home too. So I'm like, okay, this is a thing.
Yeah, it is.
But I understand that part, but then they can't also like fuck.
It's not can't. It's like
they can. Well, his parents think he's a virgin. Okay,
so talk. He talks about his sex with his parents.
He does not talk about sex. So they think he's a virgin, and my theory is that he doesn't want to spend the night here because that would imply he's no longer a virgin. But I think he just needs to like be honest because he's had one night stands, which I mean I think that could be morally wrong for a lot of religions or whatever.
Sure, right.
But he won't fucking spend the night with me. It just doesn't seem. It doesn't. It's weird to me.
But it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. It's not justifiable and it's not cool, but it makes perfect sense. The one night stand, you don't have to. The problem is he's got bubbles, and that's always bad. But religion encourages bubbles, right? Where you're like, I've got this part of my life over here in this bubble, which is my fun having sex horniness. And then I got this part of my life, then it's over here. It's my religious family image of who I am bubble. And they try to keep them separate. And like,
and I understand that.
What do we do in the like we tend to want to integrate, right? That's like classic psychology to want to integrate, but that integration process is more complicated, I think, in other cultures.
But here's the thing: you have so much in common, and you're clearly attracted to him. He's clearly attracted to you. You could just take it slow. Like what he's going to tell you that every night. Like maybe you kind of have to.
I don't want him to be here every waking moment of my life, but like one time, and then I was just like so put off by it. Like, what the fuck? Why is?
Well, what the fuck? What do you mean? You know why?
You just have if you want to.
He's from a traditional family.
I just like didn't expect him to be like, well, my parents would think this doesn't sound like me and would worry. And I was like, okay, so did you tell your parents that you were out fucking random bitches? And he goes, no, I lied and I said I was fishing. And I'm like,
in a way he was.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You could be really honest with someone like that, especially someone you have a lot in common with, and say, okay, well, I don't really have time for that, but I'm really attracted to you, and when you're ready to fuck, you let me know, honey.
That is a possibility.
Okay, so I wrote this email before. Oh, we did fuck. We did.
Oh, you guys had sex. Again, burying the lead.
We did.
It was good.
It was okay. It was not bad. We'll just see that.
She's like, my bar is very low, so it was okay.
Yeah,
so what's okay? Let's get to the kernel here. By the way, it's funny that you're on a Zoom. But maybe this will solve all your problems because I know his parents we are huge in the older retiree Muslim immigrant of Iowa community, so they might know by now. But
well, he doesn't have social media, thankfully.
So wait, so what's your question? What can we help with?
My question is, how can I respect his values and beliefs, but at the same time, like try to get some kind of compromise from it? I mean, like how do I guess I want him to be like more independent from his parents, especially at that age. And I am trying to understand why. And I just wish he would just be like, hey, I'm going to go stay at Megan's house. They know who I am. They know where I live. They know that I have dogs. They know where I work. Like, okay, they probably know what I look like. They've probably Googled my criminal record, which is, I don't have anything. It's fine. But
here's
COVID super spreader.
You're very young, and
I'm not. I'm 36.
Okay, but hold on. His values and belief. He's very young. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. His values and beliefs are not his own yet. He's just like doing whatever his parents have told him to do. So you're this mature person, and you're like, why can't you be a self-actualized person who makes all of your choices for yourself? Well, he's not there yet. But if you want to fuck a cute little fuck boy who you have tons in common with during this,
she does it. She likes him.
I like him. I wouldn't call him a fuck boy.
So you kind of maybe would have a relationship with him.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone can make someone come to be self-actualized. Like they have to get there themselves.
You're basically, you
agree. Could at least tell him what you want from him.
I agree with Natasha. You're looking at him and saying, why doesn't he react to his circumstances the way I would react to his circumstances? I, who have not grown up in his circumstances. He can't do that. He's not capable of that.
Yeah, have compassion for him a little bit too, because
I do.
Yeah.
I do, but
you could tell him that anyway.
I'm also like selfish because I want to be spooned at night.
I don't think you're selfish either. I think you're not selfish at all. I think like
and then he's just fucking her and leaving. That's annoying.
No, exactly.
It is annoying. I mean, he at least tries to stick around and cuddle, and then I'm like, you're too warm. You can leave whenever. Because then I just know he's not going to stay, and then I just get shitty about it.
Right. So, that makes sense.
Sharing a worldview with someone is so important, and like I know that Moshe and I both have in common that when we were like legally allowed to leave our homes and spoon other people, we left. Right? Like, I mean, imagine being 30, being like, I can't do what I want because it's.
But that's who this guy is. So this is what I think.
But he's cool. He's cool with one night. It's just the thing
Forget
is, I'm
all
comparing
of that.
this
That's
one
hypocrisy.
night stand to.
No, but who cares about that?
Right? It is. It's weird.
But
it makes me feel icky.
Yeah, but wait, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Forget about all that. You know why he does that. You know why he's telling secrets because he's.
I really don't know why he did that because that's not who he is as a person.
Because he's horny. He's horny and he's ashamed. That's why he's horny and he cannot actualize his sexual. By the way, there's nothing wrong with having one night stands. I'll just go on the record by saying that.
There's not. But it just seems off character for him.
I'm just saying.
Right, you're so religious. You want to please your parents.
But I just want to say, forget your judgment of his sexuality. Because it's useless. You do know why he's doing it. He doesn't want to tell his family. He's got a weird thing he wants to get laid like any 30-year-old, 25, 28-year-old would, but he's incapable of coming to his family and being like, I've got a girlfriend, I'm spending the night there. Well, what else would you do in that circumstance but have one night stands and lie to your parents? It makes perfect sense given the just let me finish. Given the system that he's living in, right? So you have to ask yourself what you want and how worth it is for you. Like, that's what it's all about. I've said this on this podcast before. Relationships are always like equations. Like, on one side of the thing is how much you like him, and on the other side of the thing is how much you dislike these parts of him. And then the way to make that equation balance is to try to integrate communication into it. So instead of being like, you can fucking leave, I don't know why you do this stuff, it sounds like you guys, either you need to say, this isn't working for me, I'm out of here, which would be a very reasonable decision for you to make, and say, I'm not fucking with this dude anymore, it's not worth it. Or you say, actually, I'm looking at the equation, he's so awesome in all these other ways that I'm willing to stick around and do the work to integrate this relationship, and the only way to do that is by blowing communication into the relationship and saying, this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I need you to change in these different ways to make me feel valued and to feel, honored and respected. If you can't do it, this won't work and I'm going to leave. Right now it's like resentment fueling and shame fueling both of you.
Right, because maybe he's using his religion as an excuse because his sister married someone who's an atheist. So
but they're not ready to get married.
Allowed. I know, but why can't he tell his mom that he's gonna go he needs to, his mom's not gonna disown him if he's like, listen, mom, I met a girl, I like her.
I mean, she knows about me. So does she think I'm just a friend though, is the thing. Like, I don't know
he needs to like own up a little bit.
But you need to find out. All this stuff that is unspoken needs to become spoken so you can have all the information about the equation. Right now you're staring at an equation and there's like all these giant x's, all these algebraic x's, and you cannot solve for x with that because you do not have the information that you need. And the reason is because you are using the insecurity that we all feel when we're dating somebody new to keep you from being really honest. Unfortunately, you don't get the luxury with this particular guy of doing that dance, because usually you have kind of a shared culture where you can kind of do this fake non-communication until you're around each other long enough to unfold the communication. You got to get on it now. No no romance. Have a conversation about the ugly stuff so you can figure out if it's going to work. That's what I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to
We were going to say goodbye.
Well, we were going to make you get off the phone because our producer told us it's been 20 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
But if you have another question, you can ask.
No, but what do you think? Do you think you're ready to have a conversation like that?
Oh, for sure. I'm very honest, but my problem is I don't want to come off sounding bitchy, and I don't know if you can hear my voice, but everything I say sounds fucking mean.
No doubt. I've noticed that in spades. But I think one thing I would do is keep doing the research you're doing and maybe talk to another Muslim, find someone. I bet you could find one on Reddit. And
Reddit, yeah,
and find and get into a conversation with them. Like, here's my circumstance. Here's what I'm thinking. What am I missing here?
You also have to gauge like how much he, you believe him, you trust him. Is he into you as much as you are into him? If you guys are like really like you two against the world, that's one thing. But if you're like he's already kind of cagey about other stuff, and he might be seeing someone else, and his profile's still active on, then that's like a totally different thing where
he's using it as an excuse or whatever. Yeah,
so
and that's not the case. I know that for a fact.
That's great.
I like this idea. Talk to a Muslim. Maybe find a Muslim woman, but I don't know. Maybe it's a guy you need to talk to,
or talk to him. Say, listen, I want to learn more about who you are,
for sure,
and what you believe in, or I don't know how you would say it exactly.
I totally think you're right, Natasha. I'm just saying I sense in you that you're so frustrated with these things that feel foreign, because they literally are, these ideas and these modes of behavior that feel so foreign, that you're afraid you're going to come to that conversation with more judgment than you want. What you really want is communication, not conflict. And so getting all the information, coming in armed with all the information you need to have that conversation. But by the way, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe you're like, you know what, this is too much work. We've gone on 4 dates. I need to go. That's legit.
Yeah, I guess that's to be determined.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Get to know him the best you can. Try to have an open heart. Be compassionate. And, hopefully the sex gets better.
Yep. And by this time next year.
And it'll be worth fighting for.
And by this time next year, you're going to be married and in a hijab. And I can't wait to see it.
Oh, my God.
I'm here for it. Okay. Good luck.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that is tough. That is a tough situation where you're living in, and you know what makes me realize I'm pretty dang lucky that you
agreed to marry you.
Agreed to
before
marry
you told me you love RVs.
No, that you were like so open to converting and for us to make a little Jew home. I mean, look, well, I'm not that religious, so I probably make it easy.
Your relationship to Judaism was one in which I could hang with.
It's pretty hangable.
If you were like, I can't touch my light switch, and you need to...
I rip my toilet paper on Shabbat so that I don't have to wipe with toilet paper I rip.
And our goy neighbor has to come over to light the fire on Saturday. Probably I wouldn't have been in.
I hear you. I do hear you. And that is not who I am. You know who I am?
Who?
I am an open-minded, fun-loving, child of the rave scene, stand-up comedian,
great father,
good writer who loves you.
Oh, thanks. I love you too.
Merry Christmas.